This is for Nulo my Kushla from Melbourne Musos Facebook Live. Welcome to the great debate with debaters, Scotty from Marketing, and Elbow Sneezy. The first question is for Scotty from Marketing. Are you a heel down or heel up player? Elbow Sneezy. Do you play matched grip or traditional?
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
Scotty from Marketing. To read or not to read?
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack. Quack, 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 quack.
Scotty from Marketing. Are you a lefty or righty?
He's been a loose unit. Wow! Hello, welcome to the great debate. Oh, my name's Chris Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facebook Live. And yes, oh, we're in the middle of it, aren't we? Oh, how is it? That's one bloke. Here's the other one. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, the great debate, I told you. How was it? Oh, what a schmozzle. Great TV. I'm going to do my own debate today. I'm not going to do the schoolboy joke. Everyone's waiting for me to say it, aren't they? I'm not going to do it. I want to, but I won't. The great debate for drummers. Oh, questions. Oh, when you pick up any drum magazine, you get the same questions. Oh, boy. And I know because I used to write for them, okay? I did beat, I did mixdown, and I did drummer magazine in the day. And, you get asked questions. Are you heel up or are you heel down? Do you like the ping on the snare drum? I built my own bluescreen t-shirt. Do you like it? It'll come up later. So what you got? Heel up or heel down? So I've blown the dust off boot cam down there. Hello, boot cam. And there you go. And I've got my special socks. Now, when I'm starting young whippersnappers off, the little poppets, I always sort of say, don't thump the bass drum. Not yet. That's not wrong, but not yet. What you want to do is the main thing about when you first start drumming, because I'm getting straight into the great debate, heel up or heel down, what it is that essentially when kids are starting out and I sit them behind the drums and they're sitting there going, oh, what do I do? And they go, whack, and I go, no. Part of me dies when they hit the big cymbal. Anyway, too hard. But what happens is you're a tripod. you've got your 2 feet, okay, on the pedals, usually the bass drum pedal and the hi-hat pedal down here. If you've got a double pedal, that's cool too. But what happens is you're a tripod. You've got 2 feet and your ass, all right, your backside. You're a tripod. One of the things that happens is when you first start up, I tell everyone heel down. Yes, you can see it down there. Or up here, I'm going to put it up there. Oh no, down there, I think. Anyway, you'll find out when I set it up tomorrow. But when you're doing that, it's more like a pulse rather than a beat, if you know what I mean. So. Ping, and there you go. And there it is there. When you get into it, one of the main things is also the hi-hat on 2 and 4, when you're getting that kind of... There you are. There's heel down, you see. There's that kind of thing there. Now what starts to happen is as you get balance, what goes on then is you're able to move it around, get your heels up and away you go. So I'm not heels, are you heel down or heel up? I'm both. It's like gears on a car to me. And I might do the whole lot inside one song, you know, that kind of thing. So it's a redundant kind of question to me. It's all, you know, when you're dealing with technique and you're dealing with learning new techniques and business, what goes on is that you're adding just tools to your toolkit. You know, do it. Don't say, oh, I don't need that. Whatever. You know, I think that's long gone now. I hope so. And what starts to happen is that when you start, you know, when you are teaching, you know, kids at entry level and all that, what happens is you always see it when they start doing open hi-hat. They start wobbling all over the place because they're taking one of the bits of the tripod away. So you've got to balance, you see. So heels down, when you're starting off, is a little bit like learning to ride a bike, you know, that kind of thing. And away you go with that. So sometimes when you're doing open hi-hat, what starts to happen is you hardly, I mean, boot cam down here, I'm hopefully you're hardly seeing my shoe move. There it is. Okay, there's heel down, heel up, balance. You're a tripod, 2 feet in your backside. There you go. And there it is there. Next one. Next part of the great debate is...
Quack, quack, quack.
Quack, quack, quack. Okay. Matched grip or trad grip? Hey, hey, hey. I'll take you through a stick. I'm going to go to this camera over here. Hello, camera 1. You're actually camera 2. You're camera 3. I'm camera 4 down in boot camp. How are you there? Now, here is my ProMark Evelyn Glennie drumstick. I love that lady dearly. And I've got my other one here. I've still got my beaten up ones. Well, I'm sure Dame Evelyn wouldn't like me doing that to her beloved sticks, but there it is there. I've got a little new pair there. And what you have is when you're looking at it, you've got the tip or the bead. You've got the shoulder of the stick. Okay, a lot of people are calling it the taper. People love changing names, confusing people. Then you've got the main shaft. And you've got the heel of the stick. But one of the most important things is the fulcrum, where you hold it. The idea of holding a stick at the proper point at the fulcrum is to get the most amount of bounce. And there you go, you see, that's what goes on there. Now what happens is fulcrums can change depending on what you have. I've got the ProMark SD7 that I use quite a lot with the mallet on the end, quite a hefty stick, and do love that one very much as well. But the fulcrum is ever so slightly different simply because the weight ratio is different, and so on it goes. So one of the things that you want to be able to do is, first of all, when you're dealing with matched grip, now it's a funny thing, most people see me play traditional grip, which is around much more than a millennia old, around about 1200 years old, because of the side drum off to the side. And you'd have the tilt on the snare drum. And so if you were playing like that, you'd be like the hunchback of Drummerland. Yes, master. And there you go. So what happens, many years ago, the left hand would get changed and the traditional grip would come along. Now, this is what goes on. You put your the stick between your thumb and first finger like so. That's what goes on. And then the first thing is just get it moving, okay? Who knows the wrestling game at school? You know, do that. And you're getting that going. And then what happens is you get the bounce, you see, there's that. Then what happens is you take your two fingers, you've got two fingers on top and two fingers underneath. First finger goes around, the middle finger goes along. Don't do that at school, you get told off, and what happens, it's like that, and then it's a little bit like you twist, okay? A bit like turning on and off a shower tap, like that, so you get that. And what you do is try and do the full stroke, okay? Who knows about the full stroke, okay? What happens is straight up, you make a snap, and it comes straight back up again. It's a very old rudiment. Joe Morello used to talk about it a bit too, that kind of thing. There you go. And there it is, that's the full stroke. And there's that. When you're dealing with the right hand, it's the same as the matched grip. You get that, so that's what goes on. With the matched grip, it is exactly what it is. I get all my students to start off with the matched grip. And what I do is when I'm doing different things, different concoctions and all that sort of stuff, I might change just like that. You see? Now, do you notice there's the fulcrum? Look at that. People go, whatever. That's a beautiful stick for that reason, because you can turn it around and still go. Billy Cobham talks about it. What happened there? There it is.
Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack. Quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack.
Quack. There you go. Well, I'm having fun. Anyway, to read or not to read, that is the question. All right. There's a lot of resistance to reading, learning to read music. Not so much with drums. I'm not going to get into the... I'm not going to bring up guitar players and stuff like that, because it is a thing. Let me explain it. I want to explain the theory, or my theory behind it. Now, if you're going to play any kind of wind instrument, like a clarinet or saxophone, you have to make the note. That's why I'm a bit of an old-fashioned kind of fan of the Devil's Pencil, the recorder. Oh, especially when they're playing Frozen and stuff like. Every time I pull out my recorder up there, my Pooch Marley goes bananas. That and the banjo. Anyway, what happens? You make the note. So when someone says this is a B, and there it is, they've got to make it and all that. When you're dealing with guitar and piano, you find the note. Okay, on a piano, it's there. You've got one of everything. Okay, you start with middle C. Your right hand goes up to the treble clef. Your left hand goes down to the bass clef, and away you go. And one note you've got. And it's because piano is classical by nature. You're usually taught in that kind of manner, and away you go with the reading of the notes with positions. The thing with string instruments is that you have positions. So what goes on? This is my theory. It's my theory. I play guitar. I've been playing guitar 1 year less than drums. And it's just one of those things. Mum used to kick me off the drums at 8 o'clock. So before 8 o'clock was all drums. After 8 o'clock, math homework. No! Oh, got to buy a cheap guitar. My first guitar was a Fender acoustic guitar bought from Allen's. $96. And what happened was I actually had to play violin before Mum and Dad signed me up to violin for 3 years. Oh boy, what? Me 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 me.
Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack.
Are you playing on the tune? That's what the lessons were like. So I pissed right off and went to Harold Ripper, Melbourne Music Centre, 3rd floor of Sutton's, if you don't mind, by Elizabeth Street, back in the day, 1970-something, 72 or 3, maybe 3. Anyway, so what happened with the reading side of things is that any kind of, well, let's talk about guitar. The E on a piano, or perhaps the E that you make with a saxophone or the devil's pencil, you've got choices on a guitar. If you play the open first string E, you can find it on the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and if you've got one of those 24 fret guitars, like my bass guitar over there's a 24 fret, you've got 6 choices of the same note. It gets confusing, and that's my little loose theory. Okay, my thing is get to know your positions, open position, and away you go from there. And the thing about with things like tabs, I use them, but they're there to help, okay, not to take over. They were there, always there, just to help the guitarist. This is the note here, this is E, that's F, that's G, and so on it goes. And then what happens then is that you learn to read. Now, once you can read, your options open like crazy. What happens is that then you can do things like I've done for many years in the past is school productions, Little Shop of Horrors, Kismet, and one of the big things, of course, is the City of Essendon Band and the national championships and stuff. We weren't just a marching band, we'd actually do, symphonies arranged for brass and stuff. So you'd be there, and, this is what these are for, really. You don't put the sticks down and try and pick up timpani mallets unless you've got 4 beats of rest. It's usually written into the score. That's what you learn when you do orchestration lessons. Give the musician time to move to different implements, but these wonderful things like that, whatever. So that's what happens there. You get options. So all of a sudden you've got a reading gig and you get paid, mate. Ooh, maybe not much, depends. And there you go. And then you can do certain sessions. You can be in a jazz big band. You can do this. How many of you out there, probably the primo college, music college, who shall remain nameless, used to send letters out for budding, applicants. And I remember my student brought it in one day. Look at this. And it's basically, if you can't read fluently up to this level, don't bother. Don't even bother. Don't even bother coming in. You'll just get left behind. One of the big things in jazz... mate. And I bought my real book a long time ago, not exactly legal, but they've got the legal one now, and I've got volume 1 and volume 2 over there. And for anything jazz, it's the central book. You've got to read it, and you just turn, let's do this one, let's do that one. I've got a couple of books over there. When I was with the City of Essendon Band, we used to split off. And when we used to do the pokey tours, if anyone remembers that, you go to the Rich River Country Club and all that. And then we do Miller Medley, Glenn Miller, all this business, away you go. And you'd read the chart. And what would happen is a couple of us, I'd also, not only my drum kit, but I'd also throw my guitar, my beloved Telecaster over there, and the amp, and I'd have a couple of busker books. And I always made a point of, there's two things that I did. I made a point of also buying the B-flat versions, so the lads could play that one, and then I could play guitar. But what I also learnt to do was sight transpose for B-flat instruments on guitar. I'd do that, and if I looked at my hand, I'd go, oops, I'd be doing bar chords. I'd go, yeah, I'd cheat myself, that kind of thing, and, do a sight transpose. And away you go with that. Reading. You get more work, and there it is. Can you play charts, Chris? The old wedding receptions. Hello, boys. And the MC who could sing would come in with the briefcase and hand them out once upon a time. And you'd be going, thank you very much. There's the drums. With the City of Essendon Band, we'd walk in, and there was the pool table. We'd have pool competitions. And dear Ronnie Ruth would have it all laid out, and I'd pick out the different, the charts for me. I'm talking a lot, aren't I? And away we go. And, I love that time. I'd still be with them if I wasn't teaching, if you know what I mean, in rehearsals and all that sort of thing. So what goes on is that's to read or not to read. That is the question. One of the things about reading, and when you're learning things like rudiments, who's reading stuff about phonetics lately? Doing things like for school, where they're changing up the curriculum. I read the long article the other day about bringing more phonetics into the schools so that the kids have better reading skills. And essentially for us, drums, it's phonetics central. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Radamacu, radamacu, radamacu. There you go. And then, if you've got certain things, if you can say it, you can play it. Ooh! Gina Brigida, Gina Brigida, Gina Brigida! Oh! Hippopotamus, 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 Gina Brigida. Hippopotamus, 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 Gina Brigida. You get all your odd times together. Mate! Phonetics. Seek fully. Big drums, little drums in the great drum debate on Facebook Live tonight. Do I want big drums like Big Ass Doris? I got a big dilemma about my big what's it? Frank Zappa. A big dilemma about my big lemma. Ho ho. Can I still sing things like this? She used to knock me out until her face broke out. I didn't think that I was going to do that, but anyway, there you go. That's Big Leg Emma by Frank Zappa. Anyway, not to be confused with Big Ass Doris. And why do we need big drums? Is it because we have... Ooh, not going to go down that naughty track, Chris. One of the things is that big drums or little drums. Now, when I'm talking drums, what goes on is one of the wonderful things about the City of Essendon Band was the Anzac Day marches. Now, there's your drums, your snare drum, and you play it properly. And you play it proudly. And one of the great books for snare drum that a lot of people know is Portraits in Rhythms by Anthony Cerrone. This is my second one. I've got the original as well that I've had for many years. And it's more like a classical snare drum kind of thing, whereas, say, Will Coxon's 150 rudimental solos is much more, well, it says it in the title, rudimental. But what happens with this one is that this is in the VCE syllabus, and away you go, number 27, in fact, there it is there. And away you go with all the tempos, with the little study thing. However, what goes on, I'm talking about big drums, little drums, aren't I? Well, that's a little drum. One snare drum, mate, that's all you get. And master that. Okay, there you are. What happens is that Anthony Cerrone is such a wonderful classical percussionist in the sense that what he did was, this book is one of the main books, okay? You buy it, play it, revere it. When you at a loose end, grab it, open it up randomly and play whatever, you know, just go flick, 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 open. I'll play that. It's going to be number 42 or 37, I don't know. But what he did was he actually took the solos out of Portraits in Rhythms and arranged it for multiple classical percussion. Now, if you have a close look, that's the setup you have to have. If you have a closer look behind curtain 3, that's what you have. I can play this book here because of that there. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Anyway, and some of the people who like to watch this Kakamami show might remember, the ones that are still hanging on, you might remember that my bass drum here used to be there once upon a time, and that finished it off. 2 cymbals, there you go, there it is there. More cowbell, mate, more cowbell. Got even the wood blocks there. And so therefore, when you open up this, randomly have a look at all the little, beautiful little black dots there. Uncle Arthur's back. Beautiful little black dots, mate. Oh, how many ink cartridges died for this book, eh? Yeah, there you go. So that's why you have a big-ass drum kit sometimes, because it's called for in the music. Go have a listen to Stravinsky. Oh, he's a big-ass, he had big-ass. Just like Big Leg Emma. Boom. There you go. And so what goes on? That's why sometimes you have big drums. If you've got a prog rock band and what happens is you're playing fiddly business and then the drummer leaves and you have to take over, what often happens is you have to sort of go with what they had just to be able to play the to be able to play the material. Classic one is Dream Theater, of course. You know, when Mike Mangini came in and took over from Mr. Portnoy, and it goes on like that. You know, when you are going into any kind of classical performance, and you get the percussion charts, you know, the book, whatever. At the start's the key, the legend. You're going to need wood blocks, just like I did with Cerrone's book. You're going to need that. You're going to need this. You're going to need whatever. If you're going to talk about Varese with one of the great classical percussion pieces, Ionization, the Mad Professor, Frank Zappa's favourite composer, he had sirens. Crazy, hey? Loose units tonight. There you go. All right, big drums, little drums, I'm nearly there. Oh, I'm right on time. Lefty or righty? Oh, boy. Some of my favourite drummers and some of my dearest friends are left-handed drummers, meaning everything's, the other way around. Ooh, go to a share night. Ooh, do a 4-band night. And the guy in the middle says, oh, by the way, I'm left-handed. Okay, the usual thing. I'll be honest, I might be a little serious for a second. One of the things is if, look, there's no problem. I'm not going to have whatever. But what happens is that when you're doing a 4-band night and you're on the clock, giving everyone 40 minutes, 20 minutes changeover, and then the dude comes up, oh, by the way, I'm left-handed, and it adds all this extra time. You have to change the mics around, you've got to change everything around. And I actually put up a question, and I know that I'm on the tightrope of getting into getting a bit flamed later on. But what happens is that you have to do the right thing by the bands. Okay, now what I mean by that is that if you've got 40 minutes to play, and then you've got 20-minute changeover, what happens is if you're running late or whatever, you still have to finish on the time. Now, I've been in situations like that where, because I've got, this is Doris, but I've got Delilah in the other room, and you guys and gals out there know what that one is the white one that I used at the Alex Theatre. That's my gigging kit. Are you gigging, mate? Are you gigging? And what goes on with that is that I've been asked to change that around to left-handed, and the leader of our band, we have to cut 3 songs, that kind of thing. And then... I remember one particular night where that happened, and certain things happened, and not only did our band have to cut 2, but the actual headlining act had to end up cutting 3. Don't let it happen. Be courteous to the people who give you a gig. Ooh! Oh, I can hear the fingers on the computer keyboard as we speak. Oh, my Lord, I'm getting flamed. All right. So what goes on? That's the lefty or righty. One of the things about that is that you do play open style. Now, when you're starting to talk about that, I'll go back one bit. Some of my favourite drummers, Ian Pace is left-handed. I'll get slapped, that kind of thing. So please don't get me wrong. But what happens is it's a little bit like going back to matched grip and traditional grip. Okay, traditional grip has it's tradition that you have that grip on your left hand because you're a row of 8. Okay, so what happens is uniformity. If you've got one dude on match grip, another dude doing trad grip, the third guy match grip, and then someone's doing left-handed traditional, you're going to bump into each other. It's just not going to happen. So what happens is these days with the harness, when the snare drum is out in front of you and flat, there is the thing where you want to be playing pretty much matched grip or traditional grip, but all as one. There it is. When you had the side drum, before the harness was developed in the late 80s into the 90s, before then, everyone had their, like I've got one, it's got the stirrup there, you have your, it's like seatbelt stuff, you put it on and away you go, and you're off there and you're off to the side and you're playing like that. You've got to do it. So when you join a brass band like that, even if you've been playing match grip for a while, you're going to have to do it because you can't, it's the uniform. Now it's the same way if, let's say, I'm playing any kind of Latin stuff, match grip, okay, turn it straight around and away you go, you know, sort of thing. Even with Stuart Copeland, he plays traditional, but when he's doing his rim clicks with the Police and stuff, well, it's matched for that, you see, and then he turns back. Now, when I'm talking about open style is like, this is the way I normally play. Oh, I may as well put it in before, didn't I? Where am I?
Quack, quack, quack.
No, not that one. That one.
He's a bit of a loose unit. He's a bit of a loose unit. He's a bit of a loose unit. He's a bit of a loose unit.
Unit. And there you go. Oh, there's no, I haven't done that.
I
much.
don't hold the hose, mate. I don't hold the hose, mate. I don't hold the hose, mate.
Oh, all the quirky ones. But have a look up here. When I'm playing open style, I have a ride cymbal, a 20-inch bedding greb. I swapped that with the raw bell. So I've got two. Doris is a bit like the Ark. I've got two of everything. You see? The Ark. And I do a polyrhythmic rock beat there. It was 3 against 2. Anyway, what that is there. So boom, ba doom, ba doom, ba doom. Sometimes this can happen, right? There it is there, you see. If I try to do it later. Nah. There you go. So open style. One of the funny things to sort of finish off is dear old Harold. When I went into the aforementioned Melbourne Music Centre, I was there for a couple of years before he moved on. I went with him. But one of the funny conversations, Harold used to have a couple of cubicles, so he'd had a couple of students on the go, you know, he'd move between each one. And, yeah, your paradiddles are okay, here you go, sort of thing. And he'd do a press roll. What do you think you're doing? Having a cup of tea? Get that little finger in there like that. But I was there practicing my little, 13-year-old paradiddles. Do it with the metronome. A minute non-stop. Then a left-hand start, and I'll be back. Yeah. And next time I heard this, I heard a bit of this.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
And then,
quack, quack, quack.
and then I heard a bit of,
Blah, 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 blah.
and then a bit more,
Quack, quack, quack.
and
Blah,
then,
blah, 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 blah.
and then both together. And I'm going,
Quack, quack, quack.
oh, one of the students is arcing up, sort of thing. And then everything stopped. And then in a quite distinct Harold Ripper voice, mate, have you ever heard of a left-handed piano? That was the end of that story. The student wanted to turn everything around inside a half-hour lesson. No, that's not happening today. There you go. So, the great drum debate. I hope you enjoyed it. I was a bit waffly today. Blah, 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 blah. A bit of a loose unit there. I pressed the button a bit too quick. My name is Chris Quinlan, and we're having a great drum debate. Oh my Lord, it's gone crazy here. Anyway, there you go. So my name is Chris Quinlan. I'll have this up sometime tomorrow for you. I hope you enjoyed it. What a week! I didn't get to say that at the start. What a week, what a week! How was that schmozzle last night? Oh my Lord. Anyway, there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed our little debate. Hey, I'm out of here. Oh, hey, oh, I'm out of here.
He's a bit of a loose unit. 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 I don't hold the hose, mate. He's a bit of a loose unit. I don't hold the hose. He's a bit of a loose unit.